Zach Martin. Welcome to the Martin Show. I was raised by my mum. I credit everything that I have achieved and will achieve to my mother. I get up every day because I've seen the pain that she's endured for a lot of my life. I have a little brother who actually created this platform with me together. Currently on different walkers at the moment. That's been actually a difficult challenge over the past year or so, to be honest with you. I wear my last name with pride. The impact of not having a dad, in my life. I can talk about this now. I don't think I would have probably been able to talk about this when I was in my later teens. Masculine energy has been something that I have lacked in majority of my life and have also craved. This drive to do these things that I'm currently doing because of what I've been through. 3 things that have helped me: stillness, isolation, and retrospect, reflection. This episode is so that other individuals out there feel less alone, feel like they're, someone sees them. I see you, bro. Tell the moon. All good? Oh, gotta chuck this in here somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean.
If I could have one moment of your time. Most of you guys listening or watching do not subscribe to the channel. The simple and easiest way to help and support us is to subscribe. It helps us get the guests that you guys want, and it gives us a more opportunity to grow this thing to where we want to take it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the episode. Kia ora.
Zach Martin. Welcome to the Martin Show. Hey, kia ora team. So today is a combination of a few exciting announcements, but also just a little bit of a get to know me. So we're going to dive into it. This podcast, The Martin Show, after reflecting on a year and a half, this has been my way of gaining the mentorship that I missed out on. If I look back, 95% of the guests that have been on the show have been male, and masculine influence, masculine energy has been something that I have lacked in majority of my life and have also craved and will probably continue to crave for whoever knows how long. But because of that, it has been free mentorship, networking, and I'd even say like a little bit of therapy, because it's been my way of gaining answers to the questions that I've had throughout a lot of my life. And being here in Bali, and just in general, really, the older that I'm getting, I realize that there are a lot of people out there, a lot of men out there that are wanting questions. And there are two things that I look at it, that's holding them back, right? They are afraid to ask a question, or they just don't know or have the right questions to ask. A lot of those questions are around who they are, right? Why are they here? And that's a deep question. It's a beautiful question. And it's something that I think every man especially should be asking themselves. Why am I here? What is my purpose? That word purpose gets thrown around a lot. And The Way of a Superior Man, great book. It demands a man to find their purpose. If you haven't found your purpose, find it now. A man without purpose is just noise. It's one of the quotes, and I love it. Because a lot of the friends that I have, a lot of the men that I see that are floating, haven't got purpose, feel almost useless, And a man needs to feel needed. He needs to feel useful. He needs to feel like he's adding to society. He's adding to someone else, that he's giving to the world, or to himself at least. And so some things that have helped me, I guess, with the mission that I'm currently on and what I feel like is my purpose at the moment, because your purpose can change. Three things that have helped me: stillness, isolation, and retrospect, reflection. And stillness, it's a tricky one. It's a tough one if you got ADHD. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is I'm not referring to stillness being like, don't move at all, like just be meditating for 24 hours or whatever. No, I'm talking about trying to be still without all this clutter and all this noise that's going on in your brain. And like, I'm not perfect at this. I am far from it. I am always thinking about the next thing that I need to be trying to do, or and it just, sometimes it can create just confusion. And so what I mean by stillness is just trying to find stillness and peace in mind. And what helps with that is the next thing: isolation. There is a trend at the moment called the lonely chapter, which I feel like I'm coming out the other side. I believe I am. I hope I am. The lonely chapter, what I'm coming to learn is it's a season of your life, right? It's not a strategy. It's something you don't want to be doing forever. And we'll talk a little bit more about the lonely chapter. But what I've noticed is that it can be a detriment to you if you stay in it for too long. And so it's all good to be in that monk mode. It's all good to be in your grind, into your hustle. It's needed. It's necessary, I believe, to be that freaking person that you want to be. But man, you also want to be able to talk to women. You also want to be able to communicate and have a laugh with your bros. You know what I mean? So it's a balancing act. So isolation, I do believe it's needed. I truly think it's needed for a lot of young men, particularly if they're around asking themselves that question of, who the heck am I? Learn about yourself by isolating yourself for a particular period of time, not forever. And then the last one, looking at your life in retrospect, reflection. Something I need to do more too. I'm a monthly journaler, but I think I need to add it maybe fortnightly, even weekly. But look at your life. Look at what you've done. Look at what you've been through. And I look at my life. I'll use me as an example, right? I look at what I've been through. I look at what I've done. I'm listening to, you can call it your intuition. I'm listening to the inside of what I feel like is good for me, what I feel like is not, people, career opportunities, just life in general. And it sort of makes sense of why I have this drive to do these things that I'm currently doing, because of what I've been through. So this is great even for me to talk to now, but look at your life and question everything. And don't go into a deep, deep rabbit hole about it, but just think, okay, all those experiences, all those positives and negatives have led me to where I am today, for good or for worse. So now it's up to me to take responsibility for where I want to go into the future. And so you have to ask yourself some deep questions. And if you are struggling to find your purpose, have a think about those three things. If you want to have some questions off the bat, think about what's hurt you. What hurts you now? What has hurt you in the past? Think about what makes you mad. What rocks you up? What gets that fire going when you wake up, when you want to, go conquer the world? And then think about what scares you. What are you actually afraid of? Deep questions, brother. You know what I mean? And if you truly go there, if you truly ask yourself those things, your purpose is floating around somewhere in there. A little bit about Zach, eh? Shit. Who is Zach? The core things that have shaped me to who I am today. I'm being raised by a woman. I was raised by my mum, who I credit everything that I have achieved and will achieve to my mother. And so all my gifts that I am wanting to share to the world, furthermore, have been created by her, literally by her. Yeah, I've done some of the hard work, but that love that she has presented to me, which we'll get into in a little bit, has all been stemmed from her. So she is my driving force. She is the reason why I get up every day, because I've seen the pain that she's endured for a lot of my life. And so, yes, she's been through a bit, but also it's given me this fuel, this drive. Like, see that? Look at that. That's what gets me up every day. Thinking about what fuels you. What's going to get you up? Me seeing my mum in pain, it's I can talk about it from a beautiful standpoint now. I look at it like it comes from, a good place. But don't get me wrong, it's fueled by a lot of pain too, So I've just come to a place now where I can openly express and talk about it like that. Raised by my mother, I have a little brother, not a little brother, a younger brother, who actually created this platform with me together. Currently on different walkers at the moment, different paths, different journeys. And so that's been actually a difficult challenge over the past year or so, to be honest with you. But also it's something that I think we'll look back on in the future, in 10 years' time, and think like, oh yeah, nah, we got over that hump. It's an obstacle, it's a hump. But yeah, those two individuals are, I guess, my spine, right? Everything that I do is for, like, don't get me wrong, a lot of it is for what I want, but it is also to give, to show them of like who we are. You know what I mean? I wear my last name with pride. One of the great reflections that I've been thinking about more recently has been, I guess, being the man of our household, or being the older sibling, more so, and the positives and the negatives that has come with that. I'll go with the negatives first. There is a lot of pressure as the older sibling. There is a lot of responsibility. There is a lot of weight that you feel, because you feel the need, particularly as the man of the house. Again, all these questions that you have, no one to sort of ask, or you have no real help or guidance. You just got to try and figure it out. But that need, all those masculine traits to protect, to provide, those are all very, very at the forefront as the older brother, as the man of the house. And with that comes an element of not wanting to show the other side, not wanting to show weakness. I tell some of my closest friends all the time, I never want you guys to see me weak. And that's actually a negative thing that I have to work on. But I never want to show weakness to no one. And that also comes down to, things like not being able to cry during my teenage years. A lot of it was not being able to show this sensitive, I guess, more feminine side, because I felt like the need to do all these certain things like protect, provide, conquer, be strong, all these sorts of things. And so those are some of the negatives, I guess, about being the older sibling, being the man of the house. On the contrary to that, it's also been, I wouldn't change it for anything. There are many positives with it too. As they say, feeling that pressure, feeling all those stresses. What does pressure create, man? Creates bloody diamonds. And so even now, even when I'm feeling it now, because I still feel it now, every day. Every day I'll feel it at some point in my day. I'm like, oh, okay. he's molding me. He's telling me something. God, the universe, a higher power is telling me something. He's continuing to create this beast. Just keep riding with it. Keep riding with it. So I look at pressure like it's a good thing. It's a responsibility of mine. It's a duty of mine that comes with a lot. And I know so many men out there, if you are the older sibling, particularly an older sibling of a single mother, and you've been, quote unquote, the man of the house for a long time, you'll know exactly what I mean. There'll be even some wahine, there'll be some woman out there that could probably relate to this as well. So the responsibility of the older sibling is real.
Welcome to the Martin Show First Ad Break. For anyone who is wanting to go on a new journey, learn a new skill, we have started our basic beginners boxing fundamentals course. For anyone, if it's your first time, if you're a seasoned member, this is the course for you in the boxing space or fitness space. Click the link below or go to onlineboxingtraining.com and I'll see you guys there. Let's get some mahi, eh?
Being raised by my mum, by a woman, I've been raised with a lot of feminine energy. And I'm just not meaning my mother. My mom's got 3 sisters. I have 3 beautiful aunties on my mum's side. I also have a beautiful auntie on the other side as well. Shout out to my auntie Betty. Love you heaps. And I have a lot of cousins, all girls on my mum's side. I'm telling you right now, I have been raised around women, around feminine energy. And there again, there are positives and negatives with it. The positives, I'll go with the positives first this time, is I've been surrounded by a lot of love. And I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. My family is all about love. The Martin name is all about love. It truly is. If you come to our gatherings, Christmas, birthdays throughout the year, and you're an outsider, if you're not, if you're not an actual Martin, you come in, you'll feel like a Martin. I guarantee you. The energy that my whānau possess it's honestly it's a feeling. I can't even explain it to you. And it's something that has been one of my greatest gifts, again, which is why I feel this pride and sense that I need to do this for. Again, it's bigger than just Zach, It is. It truly is. And that is thanks to being raised by women. The negative, as a man, more recent learnings for myself, but as a man, being around so much love, being around so much feminine energy constantly, as much as my mom probably will hate me to say this, it can deter you from the mission. It can make you soft in other ways. If I'm feeling tired, if I'm feeling maybe a bit sick or whatever, if I'm feeling tired today, son, sleep in. You want me to make you something? It goes straight there. It's love. She just wants to look after me. But as a man, that can actually be a detriment to you. And so I've been very blessed, which I'll go into very shortly about the things that have helped me combat that. But it's a balancing act, yeah? Having a lot of aroha, you need love. You need love. It's needed for the mission. These masculine influence that say you don't need love, you just need to move in action. Yeah, go on then. We'll see how long you last. So you need both. You need both. You need the mission first. You do need what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Go and bloody get it. But you also need elements of love as well for people, for the mission, for yourself. And so it's a combination. It's a combination. I do believe that is one of my biggest gifts. And again, I thank my mum for it, is to be a man, but also to understand that love comes first for everything. It's one of my core values. The impact of fatherlessness, the impact of not having a dad, in my life. I can talk about this now. I don't think I would have probably been able to talk about this when I was in my later teens, teenage years. That's a maturity thing. But as I'm getting older, the more I'm starting to see the impacts, the effects on myself, but also some of the closest people around me. I have many friends that are also in the same boat. And I think that's something that most people, it's a misconception. It's something that most people don't know is how common it is. And I'm not talking about just complete abandonment, complete detachment between father and son. I'm talking about connection, a weak bond between father and son. There are a lot of dads that, although have been there physically in their son's life, but they haven't actually been there, and that's also caused a lot of resentment, hate, anger, all these sorts of things in the son's life, which a lot of them just carry in their day to day. Again, anger can be used if it's going into the mission. Fucking use it, bro. Go bloody get it. But if you're carrying around hate and resentment all the bloody time in your relationships, in every interaction that you have, you're not going to be someone that other people want to be around. And I don't think you're going to go very far. And that's the honest truth. And so this idea of expressing things through movement, through voice, you could even go to like meditation and prayer and breath work and all these sorts of things. There are ways for you to deal with all that stuff. But what's helped me? 3 things. If I had to break them down, it's my crafts. It is the things that I've dedicated a lot of my time, a lot of my energy towards. 3 very different things. Boxing. We'll start there. I recommend every man, actually no, I recommend everyone, every human being should learn how to defend themselves. I'll talk about this quite a bit. And why boxing has given me so much is that it has given me confidence. And I'm not talking just about the confidence that you can read in a book or listen to a podcast or whatever. I'm talking about true confidence. And all you fighters will be able to, not even a fighter, all you athletes, anyone that's done combat, you'll be able to resonate with this. I can walk into any room in the world and I can show up with, I guess, my head held high, my chest up a little bit and I'm here. And I've done some mahi that's got me here. I deserve to be here, essentially. And it is because of the mahi, the work that you've done when no one else has seen. And so it's a different type of confidence that I'm so blessed to have found. And it is a craft that everyone should get into.
Welcome to the Martin Show First Ad Break. For anyone who is wanting to go on a new journey, learn a new skill, we have started our basic beginners boxing fundamentals course. For anyone, if it's your first time, if you're a seasoned member, this is the course for you in the boxing space or fitness space. Click the link below or go to onlineboxingtraining.com and I'll see you guys there. Let's get some mahi, eh?
Second thing is acting, which is probably a bit of a bizarre one to a lot of listeners hearing that. But what acting has taught me is about others. And the word that comes to my mind first is empathy. And my mum's definition of empathy is to put yourself in the shoes of others. And that essentially is what acting has given me. With acting, you're playing characters. You're learning about characters and you realize that everyone is very, very different. All these characters are different, which is real life, right? Everyone is very, very different. And so you learn not to judge. One of the first rules in acting is never judge your character. Use that in real life. There are so many judgmental individuals out there. And don't get me wrong, I love to have a bit of a laugh. Like, mate, come on, mate. But judging them for things that they can't even control, and I just feel like everyone should go to an acting class, because acting's a very spiritual journey as well, in an essence. You understand about an individual's backstory. And in real life, everyone has a backstory too. And so, I'm very thankful and grateful for what acting has given me as well. And then the last one, which has helped me, has been this. When I say this, I'm not just referring to this podcast, but I'm referring to the skills that the podcast has given me. And a key skill that it has given me, which I recommend to every man especially, is learn how to communicate. There are a lot of guys out there that have no idea how to communicate. What does that actually mean? What am I talking about? I'm talking about truly being able to articulate your thoughts. Again, what's that clutter up here? Put it out into the world. If it's on a book, write it down through your voice, being able to express it, but learning to get things out. And this podcast has been that way for me. The second thing, contrary to that, so that's being able to express and talk and vocals and voice and journaling and writing. On the opposite end, learn how to listen. Oh my God, what 70 episodes has done for me to truly be able to listen. Invaluable. It is something that I want to keep getting better at, how to truly listen. There are 2 cameras on me right now, so I got no one to listen to, which is kind of a buzzy thing. It's a nice challenge. But I've mentioned the word empathy before. Listening, combine them. Empathic listening. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. Thank you. Listening with the heart, essentially. Listening with the eyes. Man, I'll upload some clips right now. And you'll see how intense I am. Because I'm really listening to my guests. I'm really invested in what that individual is saying then and there. Listening is a skill that I believe, communication is a skill I believe that can take you to places you never thought possible. And I'm very grateful for where it has taken me thus far, but I am very excited for where it is going to take me because, again, of the work that no one sees. With everything that I've just explained, it comes back to this idea of who you want to be, right? Which is very but it's very true. It's taking things from people that have done or doing what you're doing and adding those things to your arsenal, removing some things that you don't like as well. But it's just filling your kitty, your arsenal with all these juices and flavors, and so you just become this freaking creature, animal, And so I got a few questions for you guys. Is that individual that you are building, that you are creating, what does he look like? I guarantee you he's in shape. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, he doesn't have to be 7% body fat, but what does he actually look like? How does he move? If there's a fire, can you lift your partner? Can you lift your dog? Can you run up the stairs, out of the house? Oh, down the stairs, out of the house? If the enemy's at the door, there's someone burglaring your house, can you do something about it? Think about these things. Future self, that's what he looks like. How does he behave? How does he talk? How does he walk? When he enters the room, what type of energy is he bringing into that room? Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, far out. This is why I will never schedule a meeting or a networking type opportunity the day after I know if I'm going to be having a few brews, just because I'm not vibrating the way I want to, not right now. If you meet me right now, we'll get to that in a bit. But how does he behave? How does he treat people when no one's watching? Does he have manners? Is he loud? Is he shy? Think about that individual. and think about the people that are behaving like that individual and move into their direction. Follow them. What do I think most men are struggling with today? Confidence, which we've talked a little bit about, and loneliness. And these are the two things that I've struggled from in the past as well. And that is why, again, going back to purpose and mission, I feel like it is my mission to help combat these through the things that I have learned. And so my whole ethos or business model, if you wish, is around this idea of what did I need when I was younger? Who did I need when I was younger? And I'll actually tell you a funny story because I wrote down my life mission at the beginning of this year. And it is to be the man, to be the human I needed when I was younger. Since being in Bali, I went to a talk show last week and got absolutely questioned for it beautifully from a lady who teaches and helps men here. Carol Fark, thank you very much. And she said to me, but that to be the man that you needed when you were younger, that could be anything. That could be anyone. So for me, it's just my bad. It's just narrowing and being more specific with what that looks like. Yeah. And so confidence and loneliness. Loneliness first. I feel like a lot of men are doing things on their own, doing things alone. And again, what we talked about earlier, that is necessary. All right. It's not, being alone is not a bad thing. I think you need it for a part of your life. But there is a big difference between being alone and being lonely. And so what I wish I needed was a group of men, a brotherhood essentially, that I could really ask questions, that I could be doing hard things together, like asking questions or getting into good nick, when like having a sense of accountability. And so I have created movement, try to guess the name, Modern Movement, which is for men of all ages who feel like they've lacked a masculine role model in their lives, just like me, and feel like they no longer want to do this life alone. They may have multiple questions, and I'm not saying that I'm going to have all the answers. I'm not even saying I know what this movement, where it's going to be, what it's going to look like. But what I do know is that if you want to work on your physique, if you want to get your body right, if you want to get your mindset right, if you want to learn how to speak from your actual voice, if you want to get in tune with your voice, learn how to talk, learn how to express yourself in a different way, I will be able to help you in those areas. So I'm going to drop the link below, the application link. Fill it out. It's almost New Zealand summer. There's a lot of things we can get up to. It is free. If you're wanting to dive into more one-on-one stuff, just message me. We can dive into that as well. And I've always placed this belief that, helping people or coaching people is a future thing. It's when you're 40 years old and have lived a life, essentially, yeah? What I've come to realize through this trip in Bali is that that's just a limiting belief that I've placed on myself. There is so much there that I can't wait to share. And so I treat every interaction, every networking opportunity like it is an opportunity for you, that individual or group, to feel me. And I don't get it right. Again, if I'm hungover, you ain't seeing me. You know what I mean? It comes with a combination, a correlation of multiple things: the confidence, the essence and the aura, the man that you do want to be. I truly believe that I can sit down with any tane, any male in the world. I can sit down with anyone now. And why? It is because of the mahi, the work that has been done when no one else has watched. And there is so much more work that needs to be done in order to get to these areas, to get to that freaking man that I see. And so this whole episode is not for validation or for, oh my God, like, sob story or whatever. This episode is so that other individuals out there feel less alone, feel like they're, someone sees them. I see you, bro. I bloody see you, man. Come for a korero, Zaki. Once you start this waka of, you can call it self-improvement, personal development, learning more about yourself, you realize, you come to understand how much you don't know. Goes back to really anything. Talk about those crafts that I mentioned, acting, boxing, even business, even this sort of stuff. You learn how much there is to learn. You realize how much you don't know. And that's the beauty of it, because it's a forever journey. So find things that are forever journeys where you are playing the long game. That's where I'm at now. I just want to do things that are long-term, playing in decades, as Alex Hormozy likes to talk about. So find those things. If you need help finding those things, DM, comment below. And before we wrap up, if you've made it this far, thank you. But I just want you to reach out to that individuals that have helped shape you to the man or to the woman that you are today. I want you to give them a message, an honest message. Tell them thank you for everything, the ups, the downs, and tell them you love them. Michelle Martin, I love you. I thank you so much. I can't thank you, actually. I'll show you. My reason for getting up every day. It's different. Find yours. All right, whānau, that concludes another episode of The Martin Show. If you have made it this far, if you would like to join Martin Movement, again, click the link below. If you want to do some one-on-one stuff, that will be dropped in the description below. Make sure you are subscribing to this YouTube channel. Make sure you are following _The Martin Show. And as you know, we're going to be back next week for another episode. Comment below what you want to see, who you want to see. I'll be back in New Zealand probably in November, especially if the Martin movement's getting going. I'll definitely need to be home soon, regardless. And I'm looking forward to you guys feeling this, seeing where this goes. Aroha always, love always, carry yourself with mana. I'll see you guys next week. Kia ora. To the fucking moon. All good?